What do they mean by this? Let me see. Good morning. I want to see what they mean by this. Good morning. The girl was supposed to come on here 7. I end up was doing something last night. I had to talk to a friend of mine last night, so on the phone there last night a little bit late. So good morning to one and all. You girl get up, and as usual, we say we're on a 90-day challenge. Ooh, so that's sweet sour sap. I'm like, ooh, that's so yum yum. So hope everybody's doing good this morning. The girl get up, and she is doing good. Uh, she's I get up and I'm doing really wonderful, really good. So today is happy Tuesday. So happy Tuesday to one and all. And it's a happy Tuesday because 7 days of the week, guys, it's a happy Tuesday. Get up, another day, on it. All right. So hopefully everybody is having a wonderful morning. They're doing good. We get up, we give God thanks and praise, and even on the news this morning, I've been listening to the news. They were saying somebody had passed away from the current of the water. So if you're all out there going to the beach or anything, I want you all to be careful, and pay attention. I don't know because so many things are happening now. So once you go out there, it's summer now, just be careful. You know what I mean? Just be very careful out there. My heart goes out to that man there and his family. I think they call him Warner from the Cosby Show. So my heart goes out to him, to his family that are grieving his loved ones, and for everybody who comes to know him. I watched the show as a kid as well, and come to know the show, not know the person as knowing the person. You know what I mean? Because it was when I was a little girl. But it just goes to show that life is so short, and life happen in a blink of an eye. But we still have to make it in another way for us to understand that life is life, and once it's done, it's done. But who left behind like us have to make it right, because we get to see the transition of other people, how they transition, but we're not getting to see how we're going to transition. So we have to learn to make it right while we're here, and we still have time to make it right on this planet. It's not going to be an easy road, and that's going to be an easy task, but we can't give up, because once we give up, that's what's going to happen. Understand? We have to fight to the very end. Some things are going to be out of our control that we won't be able to fight about. But once we get that lesson or thought in that we, hey, we can take this challenge on, we have to take up the battle, and we have to learn to figure things out. You know what I mean? But it's life, is what it is. It's happy Tuesday this morning. I just wanted to say my heart and prayers going out to that grieving family there, because I know it's never easy right there. So hope everybody is doing good this morning. You hear the raps advice of your girl, the resilient queen, your crazy queen, your queen that speak her mind, and your queen, the queen that not gonna give up. You know what I mean? Because when you realize you have the strength to go on, I encourage everyone to go on. I encourage everybody to keep going. People might not be in favor for you, but you got to remember who's in favor for you. Because I woke up this morning, who was in favor of me? The Lord. He was in favor of me, right? So I'm still here. So that means, I'm still favored, right? You are still favored. So regardless of what the world going to see you as or perceive you as, don't give up, because the moment you give up is a moment that is it for you. You know what I mean? In life, in life we have to fight. In life we're gonna have to come to common terms to speak our mind. You know what I mean? Everybody's speaking their mind. You might not be able to speak your mind the way somebody else can, but you're gonna do the best thing you can do for yourself, and to know, understand things for yourself, so that things can be better for you. You understand? Because when we learn to understand life, it is easier for us to make huge milestone in a lot of stuff, huge steps in the milestone that we want to achieve in life. You know what I mean? But when it's like we tell ourselves that, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, then we won't do nothing. But if we tell ourselves we can do it, yes, we can do it. You know what I mean? Regardless, you know what I mean? We have to have that mindset that regardless of what is coming our way, regardless of the things that are trying to break you, regardless, because they're gonna come naturally. They're gonna come naturally. But you're not gonna give up. You know what I mean? We fight to the end in life for what we believe in, for what is right, for the direction we want to go in life, and how we gonna fight is also gonna empower other people out there. And mind you, everybody empowerment is gonna be different. Everybody empowerment is gonna be a unique way, because we are not. I'm not the one who giving people empowerment. I'm not the one who is motivating people in the way I'm motivating people. Understand? So everybody, we have all our ways and different ways of doing stuff. And I don't want people to lose the way you guys do stuff. Because the way we do stuff is gonna be different from other people. But by the end of the day, as long as we're not trying to hover over everything or being greedy or anything, we can make it because we're in our lane, we're humble, we're thankful, we're blessed, we are grateful, we appreciate everything around us, because everything around us, you're gonna have some lessons to gain from it. Everything we say, everything we do, we're gonna have something to learn from that. We're gonna have a lot of things that we even gonna see ourselves with. We're gonna start to see ourselves with it because of the things we are doing, the things we are saying. And then we say, you know what? It's time for us to make it right. It's time for us to do the things what is right, not what is wrong. And then looking in the eyes and say this is that or whatever. But we can't give up. We can't give up. you know that's why he created 7 days. And I stress that enough to let people understand. He created 7 days for a reason. He didn't create it 7 days because he wanted to just create it. He created the 7 days so every day can be a new day. Every day your mindset should not be like yesterday. Yesterday teaches you something, today gonna also teach you something more. Then tomorrow is going to teach you something more and more. And the more we grow, the more we're going to elevate, the more we're going to gain strength, the more we're going to be encouraged, the more we're going to find wisdom, and the more we're going to gain knowledge and understanding of everything around us. You know what I mean? And that's why we can't give up. You know what I mean? No matter how the road seems. So I want to say good morning to all the likers, the sharers, the commenters, the well wishers, the subscribers, for everybody, the silent partners, the moderators, everybody, the donors, everybody, because one thing make up another, one thing connect with another, one thing strengthen the other, one thing encourage the other. One thing keep pushing us to be a better person. And one of the things I want is to, when we look at common sense, we're looking at common sense from a standpoint where we can understand the things around us. We don't have to try to say, oh, we trying to find things out of nothing. We can just look at the things we have around us and find strength in it. Find the things that not so wonderful, clear it out, and then find strength in the things that is left. It's like when we declutter in our home. Don't we declutter? And sometimes we bought things for years, or for months, or for weeks, and never use it. And you say, oh man, it's time. We gotta declutter. When you declutter, you find things that you had bought, never even used, and you don't even need it. And what you start to do is start to put them in a donation bag, or we call if we know somebody, we say, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? If they say no, then we take it to a donation in camp or so, and then you donate that. Not because you didn't want it, but because you grow out of what you had and you realize that, hey, I no longer need this. You see what I'm saying? So when you no longer need something, you say, all right, then, that is it. And then you work your way up to find something else that you might comfortable with. It's like even with having a device. When a new device come out, we find strength in say, oh, I want this one because this one is better. So you want to be upgrade. You want to upgrade yourself. You want to uplift yourself. You want to uplift others. Because when we uplift ourselves, we're also uplifting others to let they say, hey, I was here where you at. But I'm not telling you that you can't get out of it, but it begins with you. You know, everything begin with you, with us. It's gonna begin with us, not begin with nobody else but you. When we get up, it's like this morning I get up and I'm just there, and just to see the pathway of life. And I remember I'm saying, thank you, Lord, for giving me a voice to speak. You know, because if I don't say thank you, because all the time the challenge that used to come and make you feel like you're voiceless. And if you don't fight those challenges that are going to come, you are going to remain voiceless. You know, because it's one thing to have the world opinion in your head, but it's another thing when the world is pushing you down and you not fighting back to say, hey, I belong just like you. You know what I mean? So you have to tell yourself, I belong too. It's like you'd have seen one family member who always trying to push you down or making you belittle or something. And then you realize that, hey, I'm not going to allow that. No way I am allowing that. And you have to take a stand, you know? And once you take a stand, you realize for yourself that life is what you make of it. I remember I told her the man that passed away, he can't pass away no more. So when you look at life with some common sense that, hey, but that man passed away already, that woman passed away already. We're the only one left now. So what next? What is going to happen to us? Because we are here. So we have questions. Because we still have voice. You see what I mean? We are not voiceless yet. We got voice. And many times we might look and say, why is that happening? But in order to continue to find your way in this world, we need foundation. We don't just need we don't just need a roof, but we need the foundation. Without the foundation, that roof won't be roofing. You see what I mean? So we need that voice that willing to stand up, willing to take a stand, willing to lead in the right direction, not just in one direction, but willing to take the lead and willing to stand up for what is right, willing to move on. You know. We're gonna have so many things out here to come at us. We're gonna have so many things to come at us out here in this world, whether we like it or not. So many things. You know, you're gonna have in the environment. You're gonna have people against people. You're gonna have you against you. You know what I mean? When you learn English, they told you about these things where you have you versus yourself, you versus the environment, and you versus the community, you versus a lot of stuff. You're gonna have it because you're gonna see the things that are coming at you. It's like a warfare. Yeah? And if you don't realize what is going on in this world, you're gonna get caught up in that warfare. You know, because when we learn things, we think that our way is the right way. You see what I'm saying? And then your way is no way. So you have to and that's why it's good to have your mind of your own and connect that mind with your intuition so that anything you're gonna do is gonna help you because you have a mind of your own. So even when it's like when somebody teach you how to do something and you gain understanding, now you have a mind of your own. Now you're able to say, oh, I could put this like this and I could do this like that. Or so, but the part that I want to understand is that is when they say, okay, go ahead, you could do what you gotta do and stuff, and then after that they tear you down. That's not good. It's like building you to tear you down. You know, that's not a good way of building somebody. You know, you don't build people to tear them down because they're gonna come right back into your arms and say, hey, please help me, please help me. When we build people up, or when you say you're a builder and you're a motivator and you're encouraging people to do something, when they move past and start building themselves, they have to find themselves. They have to gradually find themselves. The same way you find yourself from the darkest part of what you were going through. Nobody know what nobody go through, mind you. No matter how we out here say we're genius. Genius don't come from the part that finding you is gonna happen with you. Nobody else. You know, finding you is to find the strength in connecting with your intuition, which is how we connect to with the Father. You understand? When you ask him for something and you listen and he come and he say something to you, you know. And that's what I'm saying to ourselves, in order for us to move forward in this life, we need to make a difference. Is not tearing your brother down. Making a difference is not to pull your sister down, because your sister already been pulled down already. You're already in a situation where she probably don't even know her bed head from her bed foot. But you have a lot of people who still put you down there because they know you're fighting for survival. And because they already feel like they gained the strength, they don't think that you're going to gain strength. And then what's going to happen now is they're going to build off you in a way where they're going to make it look like, okay, I can, what they call it, low key, ball key shade you or do something to you, and you're going to believe because they know your circumstances, or they think they know your circumstances. And then what that does now, if you believe that, you fall for the trap and know you're in the trap and know it's hard for you to come back. So that's why in life we have to really fight. We can't give up. Because if we give up, then that's it. And then you say, oh, I'm losing. No, you're not losing. It's because you give up. You need to just find back some strength. How many times we walk in and we can feel like we can't walk no longer? We need to we need to stop. But we stop, but we gotta keep going. You know? You stop, but as soon as you catch yourself and realize that, okay, I feel much better. I stop, I take deep breath. Then you can say, yes, okay, I'm good now, I'm good. Somebody would stop and say, hey, you all right? And you say, yeah, I'm good now. Because you gain back your strength. You just needed to stop and take that quick little break. And then you gain back your strength. And then here you are again. Right back on track. So it just goes to show that if you don't have a mind of your own, you won't know how to pull yourself out of anything. Mind you, he gonna have the people there to help pull you out, but you gotta begin. It begin with you. Yeah? Begin with you. You ever see people pulling people out of anything and they said, hey, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. What we need you to do is try. They don't know how damaged you are down there because they can't see. But they're gonna tell you what we need you to do is try to see if you can pull yourself up, and you hear that person say, okay. And they had to, because is it a do or die situation? So they had to. You know? They in a situation where they had no choice but to either do or die right there. So they had to find themselves and say, all right, yes, I got it. And the person will say, oh, you got it? And they say, yes, I got it. And then they had to find strength in how to pull themselves up. And then when they pull themselves up, they say, oh, yes, thank you. So many times we are here and we're not looking at what we need to do. We're looking at what other people need to do. And that's not how we're going to solve any problem. Because when we're looking at what other people need to do, we're supposed to be able to come up with some solution to help direct them on the path that they're on. Especially if you already know your way there. I've been to a whole lot of places where I train, I help people. And a lot of people want to train these young people that are coming in because they think that they're coming into, if they get in a job, they should know what they need to do. Even if you're not even young, you have some elderly people coming into a restaurant to be employed because of what's going on now, or they retire from their other job and they coming in to get a little restaurant work to help make two ends meet. And just the way you have people out there who have the knowledge, and when the time get busy, yes, when time get busy, you see how other people treat you. When the time is maybe slow, they don't want to teach you either. And when the time get busy, worse, they want you out their way. So that we have a lot of complaining to do. That we tell the boss, oh this, oh that, because they don't realize that somebody had taught them how to do something. They gain experience from somewhere. We all gain experience from somewhere. We don't just come here and evolve and we're running off this electricity where we don't gain it from somewhere. We gain it from somewhere. Even this light that you see we have in our house, somebody make it possible for us to have lights. Yeah? You get the ability to build things so we can have light, and somebody made it possible. Now we can have light in all rooms. We don't have to turn anything off. We could walk and have everything on. The only difference is you have to, what they call it, preserve it. What they call that thing, where you have to conserve. so that you don't run your light bill up also. So when you're not using light, you have to turn it off, because guess what, even though it's available to you, but it come with a price, you see. So in a life, a lot of things that's going to come our way, it's going to come with a price, because look at the very own light you see that we say we need light. We need natural light, we need this light at night, and we need natural light in the morning time to strengthen our body, to help us, and we need light to see, eh? And natural light to help us strengthen our legs and give us the vitamin D, help with the plants, the nurturing the plants, the nourishing the plants, same way. You know what I mean? And what happened? J Lo, congratulations for top fun. It's a top of the morning. Where is my breakfast? LOL. I haven't eaten no breakfast. I'm here making the kids breakfast. How are you doing? You know, I'm just here talking that, so finding ways to come to common grounds. Wait, you made breakfast already? Because I haven't made none yet. So finding ways to make common grounds with life, and just don't, one of the things I don't want to see out here is the bashfulness. When we know something, then we bash the rest. No, we need to find strength in what we're doing to go on. And I know that a lot of us don't have the patience, because when we have knowledge and we think our knowledge is too much, we don't have patience to teach the man who don't have nothing. And then we think that, oh, they should know this, look at how they look at, what I mean, we start the judgment now. Oh, but I ain't teaching them nothing, they this, and that's their fault, that's not godly like behavior. You know what I mean? That's like the whip off your tongue speaking to you in a negative light. I ain't doing this, they should know, but you have an attitude by just saying it. This list, I ain't doing that. That's an attitude like behavior. That's not a behavior trying to say, no, heading out to food bank, have a great day. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, you're going up the street? You know what I mean? So you gotta fight for what you want in this world. Because if you don't fight for it, somebody go fight for it for you, yeah? It won't be in your hand. But I'm here to tell you, family, don't give up, because when we give up, that's where we fail. Because we left everything into the hands of somebody else, and then we wonder why we failed. Don't wonder why we failed. Wonder what we weren't doing, because we give up so easily. Because to be honest, the negative things that comes your way, you will know when you're in a warfare. But the negative things that come your way, they come to challenge you, they come to break you. Some of them. And if you don't fight to see that they come to challenge you and break you, if you're not reasoning with your father, you won't know. You won't know the things you need to know. You won't know that, because you can't see them. You won't see them. But when you tell yourself that you're gonna find strength in what is trying to attack you, you're gonna come differently. You know what? I didn't capture what that. I captured half of what he said, but I didn't capture all of it. Just a few weeks ago, he said something, and I didn't capture all of it. Oh, he was saying that in this world, all he wants to say is just learn to smile. Not just smile because you're sad, but smile when you're happy. Some people smile when they're sad to kind of show off people to not knowing that something is wrong with them. They smile. But you see, our facial expression is one of the tools that we have, that we can't erase nothing when it's shown on our face. Nope. You can't erase a thing off of this face with our facial expression. Our facial expression sometimes are, even if you go open your mouth and say you're happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, your facial expression says it all. Your facial expression, even though when you're going to come at something, because it says it all. It's like the calm before the storm. So no matter what, we will try to tell ourselves that we're good at, but our facial expression is a giveaway. It is a giveaway. I told you, even though it was a show, I watched that young lady, and when the mother tell her that in General Hospital, when the mother told her, even though it's a show, but it's something happening in real life, it's happening, where we put on this show to make people think that Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, and then low-key laughing. She was, and then her aunt, look at it, she know her aunt was watching her, and as soon as she left, her aunt slammed the door and said, something is wrong with your daughter. The mother trying to justify that. So I'm telling you, sometimes we have these smiles on our face and we have these pretty things on our face. It's just a cover up of what the actual thing is that you're going through. It's just to say, hey, I'm good, I'm this, yeah, but it's 7 days of the week, family. You think we're good 7 days of the week? Be honest. We might good financially. We might good be in a house, but you got bills to pay, baby. Sometimes you didn't even sign up for bills to be $300 more extra a month. Because you had budget yourself so long, and then with everything happening, oh, now your bill go up a notch. You didn't budget for that. So you think 7 days a week we get up and we just smiling? Like smiling? No. We get up 7 days a week, and sometimes you start to say, oh my God, the bills. Man, I forgot to pay this bill. Oh my God. And it's like you just pay your rent and it's coming back again. And you just paid a couple weeks ago. And here it is again. And you say, man, the days are flying. So do we. The days are flying, and so do I. We are flying too. Whether in a peaceful place or a happy place or a sad place or embarrassed place, we are flying too. But one thing we have to learn to do is not to hide how we're feeling. Because others could be feel down just like us. But just hearing us say, hey, I'm not feeling too well today. It's a confirmation for others to say, okay, then if she's not feeling well, why can't I not feel well too? And be happy with it. You see what I'm saying? Because you're comfortable saying it out and leave the rest to him. Not to mankind, you leave the rest to him and he will fix everything else going forward. You know what I mean? He heals the nation. We might not like some of the stuff that is happening and we say, oh, you're not coming quick and everything. But he don't come on our time. And that's why he wants us to think. Because he not coming on our time. He come on his time. That's one manual you ain't going to get from him. None of us ain't going to get that manual from him. Because he's the creator. He's the author. He's the publisher of us. You see what I mean? He designed us the way he wants to. No matter how much we're going to cover up anything or cover up our sad look, our this, no. He will find a way to tell us that, hey, this is this and this is that. What is that beeping? That boy tear the bat up. That boy eat up the bat or throw it away. What is that going on? You know what I mean? So don't give up in life and don't feel like you must be burdened down with what life have to offer you in terms of how it's gonna come. Speak your mind. It's gonna come and it's not gonna be nice all the time. But when you speak your mind, you will be good. You know? He said, don't hide your feelings from him. Don't hide nothing from him. That's one of the things we tell ourselves, when we hide too much, and then when we really need help, it's too late. He said, don't wait till too late. Because when you start linger with all these toxic things that are going to come your path, when we start to linger with them, they are hurtful. So you can only imagine if they can come and they're painful. You got to get them out your system quick and fast. He said, as soon as we become aware, we have to get them away, because if we don't get them away, they're going to get us away. Because they're not here for to say, hey, how you doing? All right. No. You're going to have things that come around you and you're going to feel like it's just trying to drain your energy. How many times you see things and it just felt like it's draining you? Sometimes you felt so overwhelmed and you don't understand where this thing is coming from. But all you have to do is just tap into here, tap into your intuition. Connect with him. When you see these things, you say, Lord, because even yesterday, when I was talking yesterday, before I start talking, it came on my mind early before I left, very early before I left the house. and stuff. And I said, why all these things keep popping up? Why you think I must be the one who always to be ranting and chanting about stuff? And it's like I'm just hearing the voice say, but you know how to deliver something. Go ahead and deliver what you need to deliver, because people out here are hurting. And the last thing we want to do is contribute to already what is there. What we want is solution in this world. We see the problem, yes, we identify the problem. Now, what we are going to do when we say we have a platform, we have the space where we can bring in 2 or 3 or so or thousands of people in. What are we going to do with that platform? Is what's going to use to help the other people to foresee what's ahead of them. You know, mind you, we don't know what's ahead of us, but he said he give us a glimpse into the future. But we will pull through whatever it is if we unite. Not have a what I call it disconnect and then talk about we're unity, we're unified when we bitter here and then trying to unify here. It's like pick out the minority to say, okay, we cool here, and then the majority over here is trash. You know what I mean? And it's like separating yourself from the real things of life. Because okay, you got your wings over here, and then okay, everybody else over here is nothing. You know what I mean? We have to learn to say, when we say we're bringing unity, mind you, we won't be able to bring unity with everybody. That's one thing. But separating ourselves from the pack to bring unity, not bring tear down, not bring embarrassment, not degrading someone, not competing by challenging someone to say, hey, we better than you, and hey, look what we got, you don't got this. No, that's not building nothing. All you're building is just straight animosity. You see what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of people, when they're building something and they realize they know how to build it, they start to look at you, oh, this person can't build nothing. This person just talking. This person just this person just that. You don't know what God give that person to talk about. Same way you hear everybody say, oh, God told me to say this. God told me to say that. I'm here to say, if God tell you to say anything, God tell all of us to say something. And I want people to be encouraged that when you hear somebody say, oh, God told me this, trust me, God tell you something too. If you listen to your intuition, sometimes he give you some tasks and he say, why are you giving me this? What am I going to talk about? You know, when you hear those things coming to you, I say, why should I talk about this? I want to talk about it. But if you being disobedient, then the message that he want you to send around to let people know, don't give up. You are unique in your own right, in your own way, because we got to remember, he said he created all of us in what? In his own image. No matter how mankind try to create you over in their own image, you got to remember it's only one image you were created into, and it's his own image, not by mankind. Not by mankind. We all are created in his own image. He never said mankind image. If we created by mankind image, wow, we wouldn't be here. God forbid. But because when we know that we are created by his own image, and that's why we have to learn to be acceptable of ourselves. Because when we're not acceptable for ourselves, when we see others trying to accept themselves, but also trying to make you feel like, oh, that's not this, that's not that. Hey, he give all of us a mind, and it depends on how we use our mind. Are we going to use it for good, or are we going to use it for both, or are we going to use it for evil? He said, behold the evil and the good. He said, the eyes of the Lord are in every place. Behold the evil and the good. You know they're going to be there, neck to neck. And that's why when we see things not going right, he know his people that he know is not afraid to speak the other direction of how things need to be looked at differently. He know the people he can call on and say, hey, I want you to do this for me. I'm just giving you this, but you got to finish the rest. I want you. And he will direct your path along the way. He's not giving you nothing he know you can't deliver. He's not. But he said he created us in his own image. That means everybody gonna have their unique way of delivering something to someone that need to hear what is what. And that's why I'm saying, with all these challenges that are gonna arise, this is just like a job where you're into a job and somebody just literally picking on you, net picking on you, just picking on you, and you're wondering, why are they picking on me? Sometimes the people pick on you because they don't want others to see the good in you. All they want others to see in you is bring the side out of you that you don't want nobody to see. But you know what? It's best for them to bring it out in you so you could tell them, hey, I ain't the one. I am not the one. I am covered under the blood of Jesus, and you are not going to trample me. Because sometimes, that you ever hear somebody say, hey, you picked the wrong one. That means you picked the wrong fruit. And somebody is going to stand up. Not everybody going to sit there and let somebody trample them. Because you have a lot of trifling, knowledgeable people that will try for somebody else for peace in their head. Yes, they will try for you to say they're creating peace. They will literally try for you. Sometimes you go to a job and you not even 2 weeks on the job and you hear everybody start we say susu susu. They start gossiping, they start roll the tape, and some people can't stand those kind of work environment because it is becoming toxic. You have people around you same way. You don't have to know them. As long as, like in the YouTube world, you don't have to know nobody nowadays for them to try to put up that warfare with you indirectly. But guess who? Guess whose spirit is connected with their Father? You. When your spirit is connected with your Father, He will show you everything that want to come up and hey, you here? How are you? Greetings. How are you doing? And congratulations for the top 2 spot. Congratulations. How are you? But we gotta fight. And this song say we gotta fight. Fighting for survival. Because you gotta remember, just picture yourself like into a regular job place and you there and you're holding down things. You're doing the best you can. You say, good, good. I'm doing good as well. And you just hear somebody just start fight you down for no reason. Everything you do, oh, no, we don't do it like that. No, you don't. When are you going to have your own mind if you're into a place where people just keep telling you, oh, you can't do it like this? No, no, no. That means you're not in there to think with your brain. You're only in there with your brain to follow their brain. Now you got to erase your brain and put their brain in your head. Because if everything you touch, you hear, no, 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 you can't do this, you can't do that. No. That means you have no room for improvement at that point. Yes, if every time you hear, no, you can't do it, and sometimes they don't have have no solution. Some of the no's you're gonna hear have no solution. And how many people been in job before where people tell you, oh, you can't do this, and then walk away. Just walk away. I want to send a gift. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. How many people gonna do that? They just tell you, oh, you can't do this, but you're still standing there stuck because now it's like they say, oh, you can't use this cup. But you need to get the people them order out, or you need to get this out so you can go. You're still standing there now. No, you're frustrated. Oh, okay. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you so much, Yui. Appreciate the consideration. Thank you. This is how you stand because they left you still stranded. So it might as well they had let you try the way you were trying. You see what I'm saying? I've been in place before where people tell you, oh, you can't do this. And you're still stuck right there waiting on them to direct you. And the only thing you can do at this point is love, because I'm saying you are as pointless as me. Because why? You're going to tell me I can't do this, but you come with me with no solution. And that's why a lot of things are so vague in this world, and it just left you to fonder so hard. And if you're not, and you think of something and then you hear no, so then okay, so you're gonna have to step back now, because now you're holding up the job, you're holding up these things need to get out, and it can't get out because this one over here so wanna be. They call them in the workplace. They wanna be a D head. You know what I mean? Because they get trouble, and they don't have no solution. They just come into you, no solution, empty barrels. But the man who understand when he tell you no, and he say, okay, give me a second, it may be busy, and he say, give me a second. Bless up yourself, you, and congratulations for the top 2 spot. And he come and he say, all right, give me a second, let me show you what to do. And he will go do what he had to do and come right back to get you, to let you understand, say, okay, this is what you needed to do. And you can say, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. And you get back in line to your job. You see what I'm saying? No, you don't have no frustration right there because that person was vague. They showed you. Eh? But the man who tell you no and just leave you right there and you're like, what? So you still left me there to figure out something that you just told me no about when I was figuring it out. Vague. Just looking for attention, looking to pick fight, looking to try because they know you're probably going to answer them or say, yes, man, you have people like that looking to pick fight with you for no obvious reason. You will still be doing the right thing as the way they taught you, and they still pick fight with you. Hey, Charmaine, congratulations for the top 3 spot. You say, good morning, Queen, good morning, how you doing? You know what I mean? For no obvious reason. You know how many times I know a lot of people like myself are so had to hold it down and bite your lip just not to answer. You would have said that bald head, brugadies, whatever. You know what I mean? Because you want to go down deep, you know. You want to press gas so hard and you say, nope, nope, I'm not losing my cool. Nope. Sometimes you have to be singing. How many of you hum a song in life? You will say, I am first. Yes, you will. Congratulations. You know, how many of you have to hum a song anywhere you go when you see the temptation come? How many of you have to say, Lord? You know how many of us have to hum a song or just take a deep breath just to calm down because you don't want to go the point that they want to put you. And you tell yourself, you know what, Lord, I pray and I ask you not to take me here. But sometimes you had to go there. And all you had to do is say, don't be afraid. He said, don't be afraid. You got to talk to him. So I'm saying the same way when you look at this world that you're going to be in, especially on YouTube, especially if you aspire to be YouTubers. YouTubers are going to be the new way of working. And you're going to have people in the workplace now on YouTube who, yes, you're working and you may interact with them also, but you're going to have them trying to build a warfare with you. And if you're not paying attention or not noticing, you will know after a while because you've been around people for a while. So you will know. You understand? You will know when people you start play football with you. You will know when they start play cricket with you. You will know when they start trying to give you what they call it touchdown. You will know when they start give you the touchdown. You're not fool. You understand? But you gotta brace yourself to say, hey, I'm gonna come the other direction because I see where you want to take me. I see where you want me to go. Because some people they want to look forward and they know they don't want to start it first. You know, a lot of people know what they're doing. You gotta pay attention. A lot of people will know that hey, if they know you have a mouth and they know you might argue with them or answer them first, they're gonna throw anything at you because they indirectly. You gotta pay attention. It's just not directly. Alone people throw anything at you, but they also throw it at you indirectly. How many times you been around somebody and they talking? But there is going to be one key word that they use, and your intuition is going to automatically tell you it is me. There's always something that somebody will use that will make reference directly back to you. And how you're going to know? Because you had just did it. You had just used those words. And then they use it back to you in a different pattern. You see the tactics that people use. Sometimes it's your own word people use back at you, to throw shade. It's just that they use it in a different way, different pattern. You know what I mean? But they know that they don't want to come out to be sounding boisterous. They don't want to call nobody name. They don't want to do this. So what they're trying to do now is come out and make it look like you are garbage and I am something. And if you don't fight to tell yourself that, what is this person implying? What is you trying to say? Because that don't make no sense. Then you will caught in the rabbit hole of entertaining the wrong thing, not knowing that it was meant for you. And that's why you have to learn to know how to scoop. Because when you're looking at YouTube, it's going to be a new job. where you're gonna have the same people them you would be having in the workplace that is cantankerous, and those are the misers, the ones that silently do things to interrupt people, disrespect people, but you don't see when they do it. Pay attention. You don't see when these people do anything. You know who you see? The person who lash out. That's the one you're going to see, and you're going to say to this person, why is this person always mean? Why is this person always loud? Why is this person always bitter? That person ain't bitter for no reason. Gotta pay attention. You gotta learn to pay attention to your surrounding, the places you go, the path where you're gonna travel. You gotta pay attention to all of that, because if you don't, these same path you go on, you think everybody on those same path are gonna be with you forever. No, they ain't gonna be with you forever, but they're gonna be with you enough to try to figure out how to chastise you. And if you are so giddy headed, don't have your head on your body, you will get caught up in there. We say get caught up in that crossfire. Yes, you can get caught up in there, because what? You don't have your head on your body. And that's why it's good to have a mind of your own. When How many of you, when you go into school and teachers start explaining something, some of us are clueless. We start open our eyes. We start rolling our eyes. Because we never heard these things before. We're like, sometimes our facial expression is just says it all, and then the teacher can say, okay, I know you guys don't understand, and then she had to, either he or she had to say, okay, let me backtrack, because your facial expression is telling me that you guys don't understand. You have teachers who are good like that. You say, I'm riding my bike. Oh, okay, you're riding your bike. Be safe, Charmaine. Be safe. You know, how many of you have a teacher like that when they're teaching you something, or they come up with a topic and they tell you something, you're like, you don't even say nothing in it, or you look around to your other friend like, just your facial expression alone tell you that you don't understand. Then if that teacher smart, okay, you have a lot of teachers, they're very good just with the expression. And the teacher say, oh well, all that facial expression telling me you don't understand. And then she have to take a different route in how she explains something. If she have to condense it for you to understand, if she have to dissect it, or he have to dissect it for us to understand, then you realize, okay, I can't teach it this way because the kid's face telling me, or the student face telling me, or sometimes body looking like, is this a news? Somebody probably in the class say, oh Lord, what is this? You know, because you always have a joker in every classroom you go into. Every classroom you go have somebody who crack you up in the class. There is no school you're gonna go into and don't find a joker in there. Every class you're gonna go into, teacher teaching something, and you're like, this teacher boring today. Somebody gonna crack you up. Somebody gonna say something, and the teacher know, but the teacher don't care. The teacher just keep going. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have things when things are said. He's like, I don't understand. But sometimes it's not for us to understand. It's for us to pay attention, because it's at least you get time to be on your alert. You might not understand yet because nothing coming your way, but it's time for you to wake up and say, "Hey, I need to be on my alert. I need to be alarmed." That's your way of paying attention. Not just rolling out your eyes and have your facial expression. Nope. For you to start think. And then a lot of times, another thing you have to pay attention with is how things is being said. We have to pay attention. You understand? Because if you don't pay attention to how things is being said, and so you can understand for yourself, say, oh, why was this? Now you start to pay attention. Now you start to look around you. Pay attention to the environment you're gonna be in. You gotta pay attention to all of that, and know what's right from wrong. Because it's when you don't know what's right from wrong, you digest so much, and then you get overwhelmed, and then when you're trying to figure your way out, you can't, because you it's like you drink too much, and then now you have a, what they call it, a hangover, because you didn't have no limit to say, hey, you know? So no. So anyway, I've been here for so long looking at this thing. It's very short, so I'm not going to stay any longer, but I want to read the message for today, July 22. It's very short. So let's see. We're reading it together because I don't know what it's saying. So we just here. I was trying not to read it for today, but he kept telling me to read it. So you gotta listen. Being disobedient, you won't get nothing else. He said, find freedom through seeking to please me above all else. You can have only one master. When you let others' expectation drive you, you scatter your energy to the winds. Wind, winds. Your own desire to look good and can also drain your energy. I am your master, and I do not drive you to be what you are not. Your pretense displease me, especially when it is in my service. Concentrate on staying close to me at all times. It is impossible to be inauthentic while you are focusing on my presence. Ephesians 5 verse 8 through to 10 and Matthew 23 verse 8 and Matthew 6 verse 1. He said, concentrate on staying close to me at all times. It is impossible to be inauthentic while you are focusing on my presence. He said, your own desire to look good can also drain your energy because of the things we're going to put on to look good. If that mean we have to, I'm just tying it in different ways now. If that mean you have to tear down your sister, tear down your brother, you're going to put it on you to make sure you look good. Make sure, hey, this is the real deal right here. Because you have to put it on to say this is the real deal right here. You have to put it on so you can look good. And sometimes you feel, it's like when you're done, you're like, ooh. Some people that say, I don't drink. But you always hear this, I need a shot of tequila. Whew. And they start to take deep breath. Because just the stuff that you have to put to the forefront. Sometimes even wearing heels. For example, when we are ladies and we're going out and we're wearing heels. We just want that heel for a little split second, but just the things we're going to put on to look good can also drain us because that heel, we can't stand up in that heel for so long. Our heel hurt, everywhere hurt. Sometimes we poor man, if you go out with a man or so, have to be holding all those boots for you. Because what? Our feet hurt. We weren't comfortable. Yes, we think we were comfortable because just the things we do to look good can drain our energy because you thought that it would make you look good for one, but then it also come with its own price. You see, everything have a price, you know. Every single thing we're gonna do and say in this world comes with a price. We might not think it come with a price, but it does come with a price. It does. Even being rude and disgusting at times, it does come where we have to go to him and we have to pray about these things and say, Lord, what have I done? You know, you have to pray about it. He said, don't hide it from him. This is what I'm saying? But he said, find freedom through seeking to please me above all else. Because no matter what we're going through, we need that strength to go on. And he said, find freedom. And when we find freedom, we realize that we are a little bit more comfortable in what we are doing, what we're saying, and how we express ourselves, and how we carry ourselves, and how we look the part to look the part, depends on what the part is that you're trying on. You know? And he said, you can only have one master. I remember, I think it's in Matthew, he said, you cannot serve two masters and mammon. You got to choose one. He said, when you let others' expectation drive you, you scatter your energy to the wind. How many of us sometimes feel that we have to please the world around us in order for us to be somebody? A lot of us feel that way sometimes, like everything we do, we're no good. Like when I was referring to, you're doing something and the man come and tell you no, no solution, just no. But then they want you to do it their way, but they don't give you no way to do it. But you have to start figure out. Plus, you know you need to keep your job. So you start to think long and short. What should I do? No, you left stressed out, you left with everything. Huh? Because you're trying to please these people so that you can keep your job. They don't show you how. They tell you no, but know how. They don't show you how to do it. The man who show you how to do something, even if he had an attitude and show you how to do it, that's the best rider right there, because you know that's not somebody to play with, but he gonna give it to you. You understand? They gonna let you understand what is at hand. They're not gonna just leave you high and dry. And the world expectation can get to your head sometimes, because you expect to be a certain way in society. Look at that man there. They were at this place where they were having the music and everything, and they were having the, what they call it, something under the camera. You don't know when the camera come on you, and they catch this man for X, big platform X. He was one of those, I think, CEO or something up there, I think. And they catch him hugging this lady like this around her waist. You know how somebody would hug you around your waist? Now he had to resign from his job, and that's all he camera just catch him, and that's all he was doing like this. That's all he was doing, was just hugging the lady around there, and they were just wazzing like this. And that become a controversial thing. Because when you become certain things in life, everybody hold you at a high standard. And when they hold you at a high standard, you know what happened? You are left to pick up the pieces, because everywhere you go and every move you make, you've been watched and judged. So now you have no freedom for yourself. You can't even do that. So everything you're going to have to do is just in closed door. He resigned. And that video is seen over a million times. And it just goes to show how society expectation of you can tear you down sometimes. And that's why a lot of people sometimes say, they say they age with society because they have enough. You have a lot of people say they age with society. Because they say when you let others' expectation drive you, you scatter your energy to the wind. That means you don't have no energy, everything gone. You're drained. Even how many of us say, I'm so exhausted. I don't want to go to work today. I'm so drained. Even in your own home, if you work from home, you feel like you're drained because of the expectation. You're so drained. You're so worked up for no obvious reason sometimes. Snapback Moment say the green look good on you. Thank you, Snapback Moment. Good morning to you. You're so drained sometimes because of all these expectations. And that's why a lot of people, when they get to the top, some of them don't even want to be to the top no more. They just, you know what? I'm retired. Because they don't want to be in that position no more. Because the expectation is so high, the bar. Congratulations for the top 3 spots. It's a greeting queen on the chat. Bless up to everyone. You know what I mean? The bar is so high that sometimes you yourself like, if I move, I might get in trouble. If I don't look, I might get in trouble. If I hold my head down, I'm this. If you know what I mean, the expectation. And I think when we're not learning to be, when we can't be ourselves in society, that will drain you. You go like the wind, because you cannot get to be yourself. It's a lot of work. Yes, man, it's a lot of work. Because you must always have this expectation. You can't show your emotion. You can't show your feelings. You can't show when things bother you. You have to always put on this unique feature like, hey, how are you? Like a robot. Hey, how are you? Welcome. You can't ever go, you feel disgruntled. You can't ever be that. Congratulations for the top 2 spots in that moment. It's so tough when you can't be nothing. Because of the expectation. Your whole energy scattered. You no longer here. And that's why a lot of people go crazy too, because they get these high ranking position. You hear a lot of people talk about high ranking position, and some of them are not happy because the bar is set so high with expectation of them. Anybody that's going to be up in ranks, the bar is so high for them that when something happens, even just a hug, they're being crucified so much that we even forget that we're not supposed to judge no one, because we're not the judge. But we crucify people anyway. this mouth here. I call it the witty lip. This witty lip, you know. But it's so funny when we judge somebody and they step down, somebody else is gonna come, and you won't be able to judge that person because that person gonna have their mind of their own because they already research all these things and say, hey, this not gonna drain my energy. I'm not gonna let this drain my energy. I'm gonna put my own rules down as well. And some people, because they know they have the qualification for the job, they go there with the expectation as well. You ain't gonna disrespect me. You ain't gonna treat me like this now because I'm being employed by you. Or people have the expectation of everything, and it's not just a job; it's just everything. With your friends, you have friends who bully friends too. You know, so you have to put your standard down so that people can say, "Hey, so and so," and when no is no, when yes is yes. So you can keep that your peace and everything because you think about your expectation when people expect you to always be this or always be that, especially certain position you're in. People expect you to always be upright, be like this. You can't. The human gone out of you now. You become a robot. The human piece of you gone, the love of you gone. Sometimes you see people and they so stressed out. This is the only thing in. You say, hi, good morning, how are you? They're not here. They become robot. They're not here. They're here, but they're not here. Because the robot, they become robot now. Because robot just do their job and they're not laughing and anything with you. They do their job and they whosoever monitoring them and gone about their business. Somebody has come, hi, may I help you? Or you need a coffee make? Okay, yes, I can make it for you. How you like your coffee? You see what I'm saying? So we living in a dysfunctional society that if you don't pick yourself up out of it, we go always be in it. Are you funny about you telling the truth? You say you're right about that automatic. Yes, man, you gonna become robot, man. I'm telling you. But you know the truth sometimes comes in ways where you're like, what? I don't understand that. I can't see the mapping in that. You know, sometimes you can't see the truth as in seeing it like that. You know, you just like it's still mind bugging, you know, when you're trying to find the truth. People over profit, that's all that is. People over profit, you're right. And then you're left unhappy. You know how many people are unhappy? You have people get to the top and when they retire, they're so drained, they're so exhausted. They never even get 2 days to live to enjoy what they have created. You had a man once that retire. Once he retired, he passed away shortly after. That's not good. You don't get to enjoy nothing you work so hard for. No. I heard another lady, she's a big YouTuber now, and she said she was in the corporate world and she saw the boss was about to fire a young lady. He said, you are telling the truth, girl. Work, work, work. He said, God say we profit. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Yes, you sure lose your soul if you don't. If you gain the world, you got and you have no peace. You don't have no time to be you. Yes, man. What does it profit you yourself to gain the world and lose your soul? Yes, man. See that back, right there. You know, and this is real. It's out there in the Bible. You know, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? But you're trying to gain everything to be. When we look at gaining in this world, we're looking at the world now. One of the things we look at is I don't want to be like what I'm coming from. Congratulations, Snapback top one position. Congratulations. You start to look at how we view the world when we're looking at gaining stuff in life. Is that okay? I grew up poor, so I don't want to grow up and be poor myself. All right. So you start to say, all right, then I need to go to a good school. I need to go to a good trade school, not just university, but you can go trade school and become electrician, engineering, mechanic, whatever it is. You still go to some school for those things, you know what I mean, for the theoretical part or so. But you tell yourself that you are determined to be better than how you come into this world. And you said you're destined for greatness. But little did you know that when you get to the top, you can be so overwhelmed because it have its own hurdle to deal with up there. You know, everything where you get to, It's gonna have its own hurdle. Even opening a business, people can tell you, man, I aspire to open a business, but if you don't have the right mindset, that you won't make neither profit and you won't make neither loss because you already lost. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, you gain all of this for what? No peace. And that's why the little that we have, we should be grateful for it. The little peace we have, the little way that we can laugh and jelly around, we should be glad for it because others out there are drained. Others out there are literally drained. Sometimes the way people talk to them in the workplace is like, how many of us go to work? Enjoy with Naomi. Hello, my dearest friend. Good morning. How are you? How many of you ain't going to a workplace? You don't have to be at the job, but you go there and you maybe ordering something or doing something and you see how somebody rough somebody up and you say, my God, who's that person roughing that person up? He just make you start to sing this song. You know? I'm just a nobody because who am I to wonder who's that? He said, bless up my dearest friend, bless up yourself, bless up to one and all. You know what I mean? So we gotta fight, family. We can't give up. We gotta fight. I remember he said, finding freedom through seeking to please me above all else. Sometimes you're gonna be in a warfare trying to fight to get over that journey because you know to settle yourself in life to where you need to be. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be without his hiccups. How many of us is like near death through so many things? Even carrying a child into this world, sometimes you go through near death situation just to bring forth a child. Even driving a car, you sometimes you escape some near death situation. Not you causing it, but people not paying attention can cause it, or they don't put their signal on when they need to, so it causes you to drum in their back or anything. You know what I mean? So when you look and you see God to walk you out of those situations, you know you got a purpose. You know you were designed to do something better with your life. When you see certain, even when you go into workplace and you realize that you find the way out to create something for yourself, and mind you, you're gonna have your own headaches no matter what we do. Even when we say, oh, we are financially independent, oh, we are financially this, everything comes with its own hurdles. There's nothing that's gonna run on a one side. Because even when you say, yes, I'm over here now and I'm good, yes, you have your own peace of mind, but just not yet without the stress. And it depends on how much we take on. Because the more we take on, even when we say we are independent people, if we take on more than what we can chew, that can also make us not independent. We can still be dependent. You understand? Because of the challenge. Congratulations, Naomi, for the top 3 spot. You know what I mean? So we got to look at life and see when we say independent, how the things that we become independent, we can also bring challenge. But in the end, if we keep going and don't give up, we'll bring resolution, but it's still not going to come without its dilemma. Things going to have its own dilemma regardless of how we look at it. Even beating the YouTube streets gonna have its own ups and downs. Some days you're gonna feel so drained. Some days you're gonna feel like you don't want to post. Some days you're gonna feel like, what am I doing? I don't have a clue. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna do this? What am I gonna show? I'm tired of just being sitting here. I'm tired of just being here. Let's move here. Let's move there. Let's go on a nature walk. Let's run. Let's hop. Let's skip. You know, because you're tired of just being in that one spot, that one position, and then you start to get a part of that way. And then if you don't work yourself to say, you know what, let's go for a nature walk, and so we can show the people them around here. So you stay in that one spot in your mind, you'll be losing that mind. And sometimes you have to walk around. Sometimes you're in the kitchen. Sometimes you're in the living room. Sometimes you're in your bathroom. So nobody have to know you're in the bathroom. Okay, you don't have to show them your toilet. You see what I'm saying? Just to so that you utilize the space you have around you, so you can get peace within you. Because everything that we're going to do and say is going to have its own challenge. Even when you say, oh, I have my own business. Oh, it have its own hiccups. Because you got to pay taxes. You got to pay people if you employ people. You got to pay. So even though you're running your own, what they call it, your own S, you still got to pay people. You still got to keep the light on. So you still got to go generate.
You know, yes, every day ain't gonna be the same thing. That's why you give us 7 days of the week. Because today you could be, especially when the first of the month. A lot of people who employ people stress out on the first of the month. Not the first day, however they pay you. Those when payday come because they gonna have to balance their book. They should balance it before. You say, I really enjoy your live stream. Thank you, enjoy with Naomi. Appreciate you so much. You know what I mean? These people gotta balance their book. And bless up to everyone, manners of our respect to everyone. They have to balance their book. They have to make sure your paycheck is right, your hours is right, because you know I have workers who not afraid to calculate their hours and tell you, hey, you didn't pay me correctly. And now you go, you think that no stress you out when you have to go back and redo things? So even though when we say yes with this, we're financially independent, with this, with that, but there's several ways that can still sneak up in your life even when you're financially independent. That's just one aspect of your life. What about your mental? What about your emotional? What about the rest of you, the well-being of you, your physical? Is that financially independent too? So we gotta always take a lot into consideration. Yeah, people, it's a bless up unto everyone in the chat. Bless up yourself in that moment. You know? So even yeah, we say we always have something to do, somewhere to go, somewhere. Yes, man, something. Yes, up, something. Because even when you get over here and say, yes, Lord, I made it. Oh yeah. Wait till you open that door. It's like a man who open the door. When he open the door, you see, you know, in those movies when the man open the door and say, yes! Like he's the king in the movie. And he fight his way now and he realize he get down. Everybody that was down here, not down, everybody. And he get up to the top and he open the door and he say, yes! Little did he know a ball of fire was out there for him. He up there, yes, you know. And as soon as he open the door like, I'm the king, his real job start. Yes, he unlock a new chapter, so his real job start. Now we have the bigger heads them now to deal with now. You see what I'm saying? So even with us, when we become financially independent, we have so many things to do. We have taxes to do. We need to settle debts. We need to clear up this. We need to do this. We need to. It's like give me a break. Now, some of us, we might not be able to know how to do budgeting and everything. We have to call somebody and say, hey, can you help me? I need a financial class set up with you so I can understand how to kind of balance myself because me not balancing over here, me not happening. I'm not happening. Nothing working for me. So. I see that back say here, something, somewhere. I tried, but something, somewhere just pulling me back. You know how many things pull us back in life? If we are our first pullback. Whether you like it or not, we are our first pullback because whatever we're going to do in life, we have the if statement and we have the go getter kind of attitude. But at the same time, we say, but what if? We always have some, but what if? What if it don't work? What if it don't work? Sometimes we don't even try it, but we have that, but what if? But we still have that go getter instinct in us, and that's what set us apart from the what if. But the go getter instinct is there. You know what I mean? So even though this is floating around over here, coming in every now and then, every so often, but because the go getter instinct is more powerful, which is the one we hold on to, which is more powerful, we're able to navigate our way, but not with all the hiccups because the if was over here. What if? Many times you have to be boxing the if out the way. Get out the way and leave me alone. Get out. You know what I mean? You have to be boxing your own self out the way because it's tough. Go around and ask some of these men how they stay afloat in business. Only God he knows. But because they had the what aim, the go getter spirit, and they determined to fight to the end because this is their livelihood they create. They said, "I reached to the point where can I give up?" And that's why I'm saying wherever we're gonna start in life, it have its own hiccups, but when you unlock another door, it's gonna have its own challenges as well. And when you unlock another door, it's gonna have its own pushback. But you're not gonna let your pushback be anything for you to stop you. You're gonna make your pushback be a comeback. And that's why we have to encourage ourselves. When you see the negative come your way and you are a positive person, negative gonna come even when you're positive. And even when you're negative, positive gonna come. Because a lot of us don't have nobody to talk to. So when the negative come your way, you still have to motivate yourself. It's like soothing yourself back to sleep. Cry yourself back to sleep. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? Through your cries, the Lord answer you. And you wake up and you'll be surprised. Who's knocking on my door? What? You know what I mean? The Lord blesses us every day. You just don't know what way He gonna bless us, but He gonna bless us. Because He know that we never give up. And I'm not gonna stay any longer with you guys, but I want you guys to know going forward. I keep saying you. I hate to say you guys, like you guys are little kid or something. But anyway, that's the way of society how we taught to say you guys. Yeah, you. You know what I mean? We can't get rid of that. You know, it's embedded, but we can work towards shaping it so you don't sleep too much in. You know, but going forward is to continue to tell yourself that things are gonna happen, but it's what we're going to make of the things that are happening around us. And don't be afraid to speak up. Just be mindful of how you speak up. You have ways to speak up. A lot of things are happening now that are happening maybe not directly to you, but indirectly to you. And you have to learn to decipher which is which. And moving forward, don't forget the man above. Because when we forget him, then when these animosity comes your way, we have nothing to hold firm onto but the things that want to push us back. Sometimes we in a warfare that you say, what? I didn't sign up for this. You don't have to sign up for nothing to be in something. It's just like the jury system. You don't have to sign up to be a jury for you to be called to duty. Well, when you call, don't you have to show up? So in life, I'm just using that as an example. You say, but what does that have to do with me? You could be called upon at any time, in good way, bad way, anyway. You just don't know. But what we can do is going forward is to keep standing tall. Don't give up when things bother you, especially now we have platforms. You're creating your own platform, your own avenue. Speak up when things not bother you, when things not going well. You don't have to be viscerous like me. You don't have to sound arrogant like me or anything. But I'm just saying everybody way of, because what hurts sometimes is when you're looking for peace, and then later on, I've seen a lot of people that was peaceful in life, and when I heard somebody take their life, I'm saying, what? They didn't look like that person. What? You open up your mouth and heart to tell you that it doesn't matter. Looks are deceiving. That's all I'm going to say to you. Looks are deceiving. You shock. You start to wonder, what? Not because you didn't know that person to be this person doesn't mean they weren't drowning in something else. Doesn't mean they weren't dealing with a battle that was outside of what they show you. So when you see somebody showing you the good, the bad, and the indifference about how they see life and how they perceive life and how they look at life, you have to start wonder. Because that's the only way you're going to come out of what you are into, is to start to think and work towards getting healing. But anyway, Chatterbox is out for today. Walk good, everybody, and thanks. The top fans, them, you're telling them. On the top fans, the likers, the sharers, the commenters, the well-wishers, the donors, everybody, the subscribers, everybody, the silent watchers, I'm telling them. I'm out.